All right, if you're a landlord, you know the drill. The constant worry about unexpected repair bills. It's stressful. But what if you could swap all that chaos for simple, calm predictability? Today, we're going to break down a totally new way to think about property maintenance, one that's designed to turn your biggest headache into just another manageable line item. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with the problem every landlord knows all too well. Then, we'll introduce this idea of a wellness plan for your property. We'll get into the financial side of things, look at exactly what's included, answer some big questions you probably have, and then we'll show you how easy it is to get started.
First up, let's talk about that feeling. The one where you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something to break. That whole reactive cycle is where all the stress comes from.
I mean, come on. We all know what it is, right? It always seems to happen at the worst possible time, involves a frantic tenant, and usually a whole lot of water. It's that one call every single landlord absolutely dreads.
Yep, there it is, that middle-of-the-night emergency. It's not just expensive, it's incredibly stressful, and you never see it coming. And that reactive way of doing things is exactly what needs to change.
So, the big question is, how do you stop that 2 a.m. call from ever happening in the first place? Well, the answer is to completely flip the script. It's about a massive shift in your mindset, moving from reactive panic to proactive prevention. And this is the heart of it all, the Property Wellness Advantage Program, or PWAP for short. Just think of it like a wellness plan for your own health. You don't wait for a heart attack to go to the doctor, right? You go for checkups. It's the same idea. By catching the small issues before they blow up into catastrophes, you turn maintenance from a giant, scary unknown into a simple, predictable plan.
Okay, so peace of mind is great, but let's be real. We're talking about an investment here. Does this actually make financial sense? Let's get into the dollars and cents of how this proactive approach really protects your bottom line. It really all boils down to this one simple truth. A small, consistent investment now prevents those gigantic, budget-destroying repair bills later. You know that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Well, that's never been more true than when you're talking about a real estate asset.
Just look at the difference here. It's pretty black and white. On the left, you've got financial chaos, these huge random hits to your cash flow. And on the right, you've got control, a small, predictable monthly fee that you can actually budget for. That one simple change turns maintenance from something you dread into a boring old operating expense.
And the benefits just keep stacking up. It all starts with protecting the actual building. And when a place is well maintained, your tenants are happier. And what do happy tenants do? They stick around, which means less turnover and fewer costly vacancies. All while you get predictable costs and a paper trail to back you up with your insurance. It's a total win-win-win.
Okay, so the why makes a ton of sense, but let's get into the what. What do you actually get to keep your property in great shape?
So every quarter they go through a whole checklist of the things that cause the biggest headaches. We're talking about changing HVAC filters, testing smoke and CO detectors for safety, and checking for tiny leaks before they cause major water damage. And maybe the best part, it is all documented with photos. So you have a detailed health record for your property right at your fingertips.
Now, you've got a couple of options. The standard plan covers all that great preventative stuff we just talked about. But Tier 2, now this is where it gets really interesting for landlords. It adds something called While We're There tasks. This means for up to 30 minutes each visit, the tech can handle little fixes, a wobbly doorknob, a leaky faucet, you name it. It doesn't just save you a separate service call, it saves you all the time and hassle of coordinating it.
This table really lays it all out. And I want you to look at that key ROI row. With the standard plan, the big return is a predictable budget, which is great. But for just $15 more a month, the Tier 2 plan gives you a return that's honestly priceless. Tenant retention. When those small annoyances get fixed without the tenant even having to ask, they're happier. And happy tenants are way more likely to stay. Okay, at this point, I bet you've got some questions swirling around. So let's tackle a couple of the most common ones head on.
This is a huge one. How in the world does a maintenance plan actually help you when it comes to something as complicated as insurance?
Well, think of it like this. You're building a rock-solid case file for your insurer. The reports create a paper trail proving you're taking care of the property. That reduces your liability. And if you ever do need to file a claim, you're not just showing up with your word. You've got time-stamped photos to back everything up. Some insurers might even look at that and consider giving you better rates.
Okay, here's another really important question. Does a program like this mean you can just fire your property manager? The short answer is absolutely not. In fact, your property manager is probably going to love you for signing up. This program is designed to make their job easier. It means fewer frantic phone calls for them to deal with, and it makes budgeting for maintenance way more predictable. It's a tool that makes the entire team more efficient.
So, if you're feeling ready to trade in all that reactive stress for some proactive peace of mind, getting started is incredibly simple. Let's walk through it.
It's really just a simple 4-step process. First, you get in touch. Then you choose the plan that makes sense for you. They'll do one initial inspection to get a baseline for your property's condition, and that's it. Your quarterly wellness visits begin.
So, we'll leave you with this one last question to think about. After seeing what reactive repairs really cost and what proactive care can do for you, is your biggest financial asset actually protected by a wellness plan? Or are you just holding your breath, waiting for that next 2 a.m. phone call?